Welcome to another video. My name is Pedro Rodrigues. I'm a psychologist from Portugal, and I have a lot of training into CBT approaches, some integrative approaches, and also hypnosis. And my channel and my work is very hypnosis based. So this is an hypnosis video. If you are a hypnosis practitioner, if you have training in hypnosis, you probably will know something that is the suggestibility tasks or the suggestibility tests. Today I would like to talk just a little about why some of these tests can make a difference and how you can utilize them to make such a difference. Now, if you are if you are an Ericksonian practitioner or an Ericksonian hypnotherapist or an Ericksonian psychotherapist, you believe that everyone can be hypnotized because it was Milton Erickson's belief that everyone could be hypnotized. And at a certain point, in a certain way, it's true, depending on several conditions, mainly the therapeutic relationship, the therapeutic alliance, and obviously if someone doesn't have any neurological or anatomical diseases or situations that doesn't permit to them to focus their attention. For example, certain neurological disorders or dementia or head trauma that messes up the ability to focus and their concentration. If you believe that everyone can be hypnotized, your task as the therapist is to transmit that belief to the client or the patient, as you may prefer. So when the client steps into your office, into your space, and if they ask or if they are seeking hypnosis, probably they already have a view or a definition or some other ideas about hypnosis. Some of them can be right, some of them can't be wrong. So it's your task, it's your task to correct those irrational beliefs or those fears or those myths and reinforce everything that the client knows to be hypnosis. And obviously if these assumptions are true. So it's a way to boost expectancies and the therapeutic alliance and the hypnosis process. However, you can demonstrate or you can explain to the client what hypnosis is cognitively, but you also can explain what hypnosis is experientially. And that's where certain suggestibility tasks may prove to be valuable. Now, a lot of researchers, including the top researchers that developed the main hypnotizability or suggestibility scales, admitted that the scales are not very valuable in the clinical practice. Not only because they're more research based, more standardized based scales, they take a lot of time to apply, probably 1 hour or more. And also, if someone is able to or wants to be hypnotized, well, the scales have no worthy, no meaning behind it. It's something that you may pass on, but you might want to have something that can be applied experientially and at the same time gives you a pretty good idea in how someone can respond to suggestions. And if you are familiar with the clinical and research aspect of hypnosis, some traditional side of hypnosis, you might encounter something that is called suggestibility tasks or suggestibility tests. I like to name them tasks because if you utilize the word test, it might imply failure and the idea of someone being evaluated, and that doesn't go well into therapy. So you want to call them tasks. Two of them are my favorites, and they are pretty good into show the client some of the aspects of hypnosis, and also to give me an idea of the responses of the interaction, and if the person is really willing to go into an hypnotic process. These tasks are equally valuable in adults and especially in children. They are a fun way and a very good way to introduce hypnosis to a child, because children can be hypnotized. So the first task, it's called the finger magnets or the magnetic fingers. You might encounter these two names. What it is something that is a mixture of a physiological response and a suggestive response. These tasks, I might add, can be executed or can be done also in if you are live with your client, or if you are doing online therapy. You can easily direct the client to do these tasks online. So the finger magnets or the magnetic fingers, these tasks you want to exemplify them. So as you are explaining to the client what he or she might need to do, you show them as you are explaining. So in the magnetic fingers or the finger magnets, first you want to stretch your arms in this direction, and then you instruct the client to grasp, to strongly grasp your hands and interlock your fingers. And this is very important because it's this point that gives you the physiological response. And then you want to instruct them to bend their arms and then to lift their fingers. Now, if you are doing this online, I will suggest you to direct the client to this position, to put the fingers into chin level, so you can observe their face, so you can monitor their responses as you are instruct them into the task. If you are alive with the person, well, you can orient them to look straight ahead. And then you want them to focus all their attention in the middle of the fingers. You want to instruct them to imagine or simply to visualize that when the fingers left apart only a few inches or a few centimeters, if you are European, that the client may imagine or visualize a magnetic strength between the fingers, or magnets, they are between the fingers. And as you suggest them, you can suggest that the fingers are coming together, and the strength and the magnetic strength, it's getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And when the fingers get together, you can suggest that the magnetic strength goes even stronger and stronger. And the more that the person tries to pull them apart, the more they stuck together. If the suggestion is to, if the client responds correctly to the suggestion, you might view something like this. You might watch, you might observe something like this, that the client is trying to pull them apart and they stuck together. Some points that you might want to take into account, it's the eyes or the quality of their focusing. In some cases, the eyes can be really stale, translucent, so they are focusing and the eyes are starting to really, the pupils will dilate. So you might want to take that into account. And then obviously you instruct them to that they can pull the hands apart and they can relax the hands, whatever. The next suggestibility task that I like to show the client is something that is, well, all suggestion. You instruct the client to put their hands in front of them, the arms straight, and then you instruct the client to put one of the palms in the upwards position, and in the other hand you might want to stuck finger like that. And then you ask the client to close her or his eyes. And then you suggest in the hand, that is the palm, that is in the upwards position, that the client imagine something really heavy put into this hand. And as the person starts to feel the weight into the hand, the arm and the hand begins to be heavier and heavier and heavier, and eventually will start to drop. In this hand, you suggest, well, lightness. The only suggestion, or the better suggestion that I have in this case, is the image of helium balloons that are wrapped into the hand, interlock them, and the balloons start to pull the arm into the sky, beginning to be more light and lighter and lighter. At a certain point, you will start to see some kind of a difference. The arm begins to drop, and this begins to go up. I would suggest to you that you don't take a lot of time into it, like in this position. If some clients the difference is really minimal, you don't push it. If you start to realize that the hand doesn't drop any more than this, and the other hand doesn't climb any more than this, you stop with the suggestions, and you tell the client to open the eyes and to realize the difference between the arms. And then you can ask them if they were able to felt the difference, to felt the weight, or to felt the lightness. Most people will tell you that they could feel something. In certain cases, the effect will be more visual. You can see them more difference, and in other cases, they can tell you that they were able to feel more of the weight, the heaviness, or the lightness. So it's a really a good interactional way and an experiential way to introduce certain hypnotic phenomena and what hypnosis is. The ability to focus the attention and to create a certain reality inside the person with the help of the therapist's suggestions. And then, if you realize that the client is responding well, and if they were comfortable with the tasks, you may then proceed to do a more formal induction, or you can utilize these suggestibility tasks to induct. No, it's not the correct term. you may want to utilize these suggestibility tasks and convert them into inductions. You can hypnotize someone with these tasks. So don't underestimate the power of these suggestibility tasks. And this is my suggestion to you. It's a really interactional and experiential way to introduce someone into hypnosis, and it's a good way to develop an idea if the subject can respond well to hypnosis, if something is wrong, if something needs more work. And certainly it's a fun way to introduce hypnosis to children, for example. So this is my suggestion to all of you who already practice hypnosis independently, if you are an Ericksonian therapist or a more traditional therapist. Either way, I would like to thank you for your time and stay safe.